Why do people that work nonprofit never specify what they actually do? I used to work in a nonprofit. I tried to explain my job, but many people didn't understand it. So, I defaulted to wearing many hats in nonprofit, which is what many positions force employees to do, kinda like startups. I work at a for-profit. For me, it's just because it was quicker than saying I'm an XYZ coordinator for the ABC Society's 123 program. I was happy to elaborate if someone asked me to, but for the most part saying I worked for a nonprofit was sufficient for the purposes of the conversation. I work in an office. I work in a bank. I work in retail. I'm in the healthcare sector. Depending on the size of the nonprofit, many employees do a variety of jobs, many not included in their job title, so it would be hard to define sometimes. I work at a nonprofit sometimes is a more palatable answer than I do surgical recovery of human tissue, skin, tendons, bones, nerves, etc. for transplant or research. Just depends on the audience. There are a lot of possible reasons. An obvious one to consider is whether they are interested in actually talking to you about work. I give a vague answer frequently with people who are either uninteresting, annoying, if I can't be bothered to explain, or if I don't think it is particularly relevant. Also, once people find out what I do, they often feel like they should tell me about the shitty BuzzFeed article they skimmed while on the toilet about AI and automation. I think a lot of people in nonprofits are expected to bring a lot of emotionally energy passion to their work, and frankly this can lead to just not wanting to talk about work outside of business hours. Same reason why many people in sales or startups will just say I work in sales or I work at a startup. My comparison of this is I'm a consultant. Do they have various tasks? All seems a bit like interrogation to me. Fundraising. They do fundraising. Because when you work at a nonprofit you're doing like 10 different jobs lol, or you say a job title, and you gotta answer, what is that? And work is boring, nobody really wants to talk about work. I don't actually know my GFS job title. I ask like once every 3 months. Maybe the people you're talking to don't have easily definable jobs. I have worked in government departments. I was always vague and rarely said which one. I mean, I have a regular 9-5 and am busy almost all day, but anytime I actually have to explain what I do on a day-to-day basis, I can't think of enough that justifies a 40-hour work week lol. Also, why don't other people say I work for a profit-oriented organization? As someone that works in IT, I intentionally tell people as generically as possible. Everyone assumes they can get something from you once they know your skills. I don't think it's really different in any industry. I once had to explain to someone what a nonprofit was. She just couldn't comprehend what an organization would do if it didn't make money. So after that exchange, I don't have a lot of faith that most people will understand what a grant writer does or why it's a full-ass job. Yeah, I work in a small cabinet shop, but I do literally everything. Drawers, face frames, drawer, fronster, scabines, finish work. So instead of listing those off, I just say I build cabinets.